Hey guys, it's Jan, Not a Real Farm. Saturday morning, getting ready to plant. But what I thought I would do is take you through and show you some of the new developments that have happened in the greenhouse since a week ago. We're starting to post our videos more on the weekends, guys, when we've got time to sort of stop, slow down, and just sort of give you that tour. But yeah, it's been pretty crazy around here, pretty busy. So we're going to walk around and we're just going to take a look at some new developments that have happened over the last few days because the heat has finally started to kick up. And the sun is out and the days are longer. Spring is finally beginning. Here we go. We'll start with the crabapple trees. So guys, I have crabapple trees. They've finally started to bloom. You can see all the nice, beautiful leaves that have come out on them. I've got 4 of these actually planted outside, but obviously it's too cold right now for those to happen. But as you can see, the crabapple trees on the inside here are super happy. So we have to find a place for this guy, but what I've done is I've just grabbed a bucket and replanted him in that with some holes on the ground, so we'll see where we're going to plant him from there. And finally, take a look here. We have got, let me just go right through here. Here is my walking onions. My Egyptian walking onions are finally all starting to come out here. Back here, I thought some of these hascaps were dead, so I just chucked them in here into the raised bed just to see if they were alive, and they are. They're actually starting to bring leaves out. So they're not dead. If you hear the tractor in the background, guys, we are just out really trying to get stuff done today. This is not the end of the snow for us. We actually do have another snowstorm coming this week. It's unbelievable. What a slow, slow spring. Here's some more of the green onions coming out. So we're going to have a pretty successful, I've got the Egyptian walking onions back in the back 40 greenhouse too. So we're going to have a fairly successful year with the walking onions. And then what I'll do is I'll throw some of that seed up on the store and share those. Now, the weeds, of course, never stop. They've begun. And my grapevine is still, I can see the nodes all the way down in there. They're still sort of asleep, but it's not dead, it's just beginning, so this is good. Here in my concrete planters, been down here so you can see, my oregano is actually coming back to life, so I've been sort of taking what I have here and sort of trimming out all the old oregano, and the new stuff is starting to come up, so this is good. And then we've got some scallions, so you can see those have started to finally come through. Walking over here, take a look at all these leaves that have just popped out of the ground, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's some over here. Oh yes, here we go. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 sets of leaves. I'll give you one guess what it is. It's horseradish. So I'm going to end up with 11 tiny little plants of horseradish here. If I leave it to grow for the second year, we're going to have some pretty big horseradish to basically split off and share into the store. So we will pick some this year where we're able to actually just sort of eat it, process it, but I'm going to leave some of these in here so that next year we'll have the roots again that we can put up in the store and share with you guys. So, but you cannot kill horseradish. Check this out. So these were all the horseradish roots that I had saved. Remember, I had put them in the planters and I said, guys, you just can't kill horseradish. Check it out. It's all coming back. Thought these guys were dead. No chance. You can look down in here. It's all green. And these guys here are my sea buckthorn. So they're coming out lovely. There's some more horseradish. I don't know, guys. I don't know what I'm going to do with all this horseradish. It's just going to be sort of scattered around in different beds, I think. Here is another one of my crabapple trees that has just started to come out. So it's actually behind the other one. The other one really sprang to life, but this one took a little bit longer. But he's still happy. He's got a lot of leaves that are along the stem here. And then we have this guy who hasn't even put out one leaf yet. He's got lots and lots of nodes, but just hasn't brought out any leaves yet. So isn't that funny how they all do that at different times? Swinging around here, we've got my Gobo plant. Guys, if you haven't tried Gobo, this is the second year that this guy has been in the ground. He didn't die. I thought he was dead, but he didn't die over the winter, so it's a good thing. Check out Gobo, see what you can do with it, see what it does for your immune system. We're going to be harvesting it this year and eating the root. And check this out. Look what's popping up in this bed only, or at least this side. So the asparagus is starting to come up, which is amazing. I'm really excited about that. What else do we have? And of course, remember how the roses looked about 5 days ago? Check out how many leaves have come out on these now. Look at this. Isn't that amazing? They just sprang to life all of a sudden. So it really, really does feel like spring, especially in here with all of the leaves coming out on all the different plants. And I'm a big rose fan, so this is amazing. Having the, I don't know, even if I don't have blooms, at least having the greenery for Easter. It's amazing. And check this out, guys. My purple heirloom asparagus. Let me get closer here. Look how big this guy's. I'm going to actually cut this and have this with dinner tonight. So we've got that one, and then we've got another one that's coming up here in the ground. So the asparagus really, really likes the above ground beds. It really, really likes that. So super excited. It looks like, you know, this has been a fairly successful attempt at growing asparagus. Again, this is only the second year this has been in, but it looks pretty happy. So we're going to leave it in here, and I think eventually we'll probably move some things around and maybe just make a complete asparagus bed on its own. And coming over here and checking the progress of my blackberries. You can see, I'm just going to put my hand here so you can see, the blackberries are starting to now bring out the leaves. Still early in the morning, so I apologize if the lighting is terrible. But these guys are happy in here. They're just starting to leaf out. So we're gonna most likely, so this is the third year. So I'm hoping that this year we will have a blackberry crop from these. They go all the way up. Now, my task today, guys, is I'm going to be planting some of our lettuce. We're going to be transplanting it. I don't know where I'm going to transplant it yet. I have to think about it. Probably strictly right into the beds. Our cucumbers have come up. These are going to be transplanted into a pot so they can get a little bit stronger. We've got some more green onions here. We also have soybeans. This is a black soybean that I've got, so we're just basically going to be transplanting those. We've got our shinshu bean. You remember the size of those beans that I showed you? I only did one plant of that because I'm getting the feeling that this is going to take up a lot of room. And then we have our celebrity tomatoes. You can see here they're all starting to get their true leaves now. They're not very big. So we're just gonna transplant them, put them in nice pots, look out after them, get them bigger, and then we'll transplant some of them into the ground. And these are my King of the North peppers. So they're growing slower, but they are starting to get those extra 2 leaves on them, as you can see on some of them. So I'm kind of a little bit of a rebel, guys, so I'm not going to wait for these extra 2 leaves to come out before I transplant them. I'm just going to scoop them on out, and I'm going to put them in a nice pot, and away we go. So here, this is celery right here, and it's a celery leaf. So this is not going to be something that's going to grow into a full-size celery. If you've ever gone into the store and you've picked up celery as a leaf, you'll know that it's called soup celery. You'll probably hear it called that. And you'll just strictly get leaves from it that you can add to your soups and your stews. Here is a pomegranate lettuce. So this is actually going to be a pomegranate romaine that we're going to be transplanting. And these guys here that have come up, these are blanket flowers. So we did plant a significant amount of flowers, ones that I feel that the bees will like. To bring in extra pollinators around the yard. And the blanket flowers are actually pretty gorgeous. I really like them. All right, so here we go. Here's my chocolate cherry sunflowers. Starting to get a little bit bigger. Pretty happy. Behind it, I've got what's called Queen Lime Red zinnias. Can't wait to plant those. Those are beautiful. I've got some more over here. And then here we've got our Turkish watermelon seed. That's come up. He's ready to go. I'm going to basically just leave him in there till he gets a little bit bigger. And then what we'll do is we'll transplant him right into the ground. We've got our honeydew, which is there. We've got some more zinnias. And here is another golden honeydew. And then we've got our delicious tomatoes. So guys, the weather has been cold overnight, but the heat mats are really keeping these guys going. So it's good. Sometimes they're not happy that they're out here, but on the heat mats with the domes over them, they're just fine. So this is another delicious tomato. So things are actually growing pretty well in here. I really can't complain, even with the cold temperatures, and we've got snow, of course, coming this week. Everything in the greenhouse is growing amazing. So you can see here, we have been really busy. Some of the trays, I had someone ask me why some of my trays are empty, and that's normally because either they're taking a longer time to grow, but they're not necessarily empty, or I've just planted them. So each and every one of these cells is actually full. They're full of something. So things like, for example, onions. Onions, as you well know, take forever to come up, but once they get going, they're good. So we've actually got some onions that are starting to come up here, my flagpole scallions. They're doing super well. And here, if I get really close, hopefully you can see that. I have a double red corn that I've planted this year, so the ears of the corn are red. So as you can see, guys, everything is starting off now in the greenhouse. It's starting to bloom, blossom, grow, which is really wonderful. Right in time for Easter. Easter's coming up, of course, next weekend. So we'll be, has a lot of plus temperatures for next weekend. So we will be in here and we will be growing. Spring has started in the greenhouse, guys. We'll put out another video tomorrow as well so you can see what we're planting. Hope you guys enjoyed the video today. See you soon.